Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm going to continue chapter 9 differentiation, lecture 3 of 5 part 3. Solve problems of differentiation involve product rule, quotient rule, chain rule and power rule. Example 8. Find the first derivative of the function given below. A, fx equals to ax to the power of 3 minus x squared minus 1. To solve this question, you need to let u equals to e to the power of 3x. Then you will get u prime equals to 3e 3x. V is equals to the second term, that is x squared minus 1. Then you will get v prime equals to 2x. To use the product rule here, you need to memorize the formula, that is differentiate f equals to f prime equals to u v prime plus v u primes. Means you have to cross here, v multiply with u prime, so it's v x squared minus 1 multiply with v prime 3e 3x plus u v prime. U is equals to e to the power of 3x, v prime 2x. To solve this solution, you need to factorize. The equal term here, that is e to the power of 3x. Okay, then you will get e to the power of 3x, then the remaining term is 3x squared minus 1 plus 2x. Simplify to get e to the power of 3x, 3x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so this is the final answer for f prime x. Thank you. Now we continue to example B. Fx equals to e to the power of 2x over 1 plus ex. To solve this, we will use quotient rule here. So u over v, where u is equals to e to the power of 2x. Therefore, u prime or du dx equals to 2e 2x. Then v is equals to 1 plus ex. dv dx or v prime equals to ex. So you need to memorize the formula for quotient rule. F prime x is equals to v multiply with u prime minus u v prime over v squared. So you have to substitute the formula here. V multiply with u prime, so 1 plus ex multiply with u prime 2e 2x minus u e to the power of 2x, v prime is ex over v squared, 1 plus ex squared. Then you don't have to factorize, but you don't have to expand, but you need to factorize. So now one more time, you need to factorize e to the power of 2x here, because e to the power of 2x we have for both term here. So e to the power of 2x, the remaining term is 2 multiply with 1 plus ex. For the second term, you have to write ex, close the bracket, over 1 plus ex squared. Remember, you don't have to expand, yeah? You need to factorize. What I do here is I factorize e to the power of ex. Then simplify e to the power of 2x. This one you need to factorize. And you get 2 plus 2ex minus ex over 1 plus ex squared. So the final answer is e to the power of 2x multiply with 2 plus ex over 1 plus ex squared. Close the bracket. Okay, so I hope you understand. Thank you. Okay, now we continue example C. Fx equals to x squared multiplied with ln 3x plus 1. So, as usual, you need to differentiate u and u prime. U is equals to the first term, x squared, u prime equals to 2x. V is equals to ln 3x plus 1. And v prime equals to, you need to memorize the formula, 1 over 3x plus 1, then differentiate 3x plus 1, the answer is 3. Okay, so we will use power rule here. Power rule. So f prime x or df dx. Okay, df dx or f prime x equals to u multiplied with v prime. So x squared multiplied with 3 over 3x plus 1 plus v is ln 3x plus 1. You have to cross with this one, 2x. So the answer is, what is the same term here? You need to factorize x. Okay, factorize x. So factor out x and the remaining term is 3x over 3x plus 1 plus, we have 2 in front, multiply with ln 3x plus 1. Okay, close the bracket. So this is the simplest form. We just leave the answer like this. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we continue with D. Fx equals to ln x minus 1 over x plus 1. Firstly, you need to simplify first. Okay, simplify the expression for ln. Recall back, ln a over b can be written as ln a minus ln b. So for this expression, for this function, ln fx is equals to ln x minus 1 minus ln x plus 1. Okay, now the function is simple and ready to be differentiate left and right side. So differentiate f, you will get f prime x. Okay, differentiate ln x minus 1, the answer is 1 over x minus 1. Differentiate 1 is 1. So minus 1 over x plus 1. Differentiate x is 1. You don't have to write 1 actually. So you need to simplify. You cannot leave the answer like this. So how to simplify? Equalize the denominator, that is x minus 1 and x plus 1. So you have to multiply with x plus 1, and here you have to multiply with x minus 1. Simplify to get x minus x, you can cancel out. So the answer is 1 plus 1, 2. 2 over x minus 1 multiply with x plus 1. So this is the simplest form for f prime x. Thank you. Okay, now if given fx equals to x squared multiply with e to the power of negative 3x plus 2. So as usual, you need to find what is u and u prime. U prime. So u is equals to x squared. If u equals to x squared, u prime is 2x. Then if v equals to e to the power of negative 3x plus 2, so v prime equals to e to the power of negative 3x plus 2. We haven't finished yet. You have to differentiate 3x plus 2. The answer is negative 3. Okay, so don't forget to differentiate negative 3x plus 2. So the final answer is negative 3e negative 3x plus 2. Therefore, f prime x is equals to v multiply with u multiply with v prime plus v multiply with u prime. So substitute what is u, x squared v prime negative 3e negative 3x plus 2 plus v e to the power of negative x plus 2, and u prime is 2x. So how to simplify? What is the common term here? So you need to factorize. The common term is e to the power of negative 3x, and we have x here. For both terms we have x, so you have to factorize x e to the power of negative 3x plus 2. Okay, so the answer is x e to the power of negative 3x plus 2, and inside the bracket the remaining term is negative 3x plus 2. Okay, so this is the simplest form and the final answer. Okay, now we continue with f. Given fx is a trigonometric function, sin x multiplied with cos cube x. So u is equals to sin x. U prime is equals to differentiate sin, we get cos x. And what is v and v prime? V equals to cos cube x. So v prime is equals to, you have to bring 3 in front, cos squared x, then differentiate only cos x. So the answer is v prime equals to 3 cos squared x. Differentiate cos, you will get negative sin x. For final answer, negative 3 sin x cos squared x. So differentiate f, you will get f prime equals to u, you have to multiply with v prime, u v prime plus v u prime. So sin x multiply with v prime, negative 3 sin x cos squared x plus u is v is cos cube x, u prime cos x. Okay, then what you need to do is you see that this term can be simplified, so that's this term. So the answer is negative 3 sin squared x cos squared x plus cos to the power of 4x. Okay, then the like term here is cos x to the power of 2. So you need to factorize cos squared x. Okay, factorize cos squared x. Okay, so f prime x equals to cos squared x. So the remaining inside is negative 3 sin squared x plus cos squared x. Okay, then you can simplify to get cos squared x. Negative 3 plus 1, the answer is negative 3 squared. Then you can simplify by using identity. Sin squared can be changed to cos by using sin squared x is equals to 1 minus cos squared x. Use the identity. So here negative 3 sin squared, there I will substitute with 1 minus cos squared x, close the bracket, plus cos squared x. Therefore the final answer is cos squared x multiplied with 4 cos squared squared x minus 1. Okay, so this is the simplest form. Thank you. G, given fx equals to ln cert 1 minus 2x over x plus 1. So, firstly, you need to simplify first by using rule of ln. Simplify to get fx equals to ln cert 1 minus 2x minus ln x plus 1. Then simplify to get half of ln 1 minus 2x minus ln x plus 1. Please take note that I haven't differentiated yet, but I still simplify for the second time here. Okay, I still simplify. So this is the simplest form. Now the function ready to be differentiate. Now we are going to differentiate both sides with respect to x. So differentiate f, we get f prime x. Now half multiply with ln, we were going to use product rule here. Half differentiate ln, the answer is 1 over 1 minus 2x. Remember, we haven't finished yet. You have to differentiate 1 minus 2x. Okay, differentiate 1 minus 2x. Then minus differentiate ln x plus 1 is 1 over x plus 1. Differentiate x plus 1 is 1. Okay, so the answer is half of negative 2 over 1 minus 2x minus 1 over x plus 1. Then 2 and 2 here can be cancelled out. So the answer is negative 1 over 1 minus 2x minus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, then we are going to simplify. To get f prime x is equals to negative of x plus 1 minus 1 minus 2x over the numerator is 1 minus 2x multiplied with x plus 1. Okay, then simplify, you will get negative x minus 1 plus 2x. So the answer is 2x minus x minus 2 over 1 minus 2x multiplied with x plus 1. Okay, so you need to equalize the denominator here. Okay, so this is the simplest form. Thank you. Now we continue with example H. Given fx equals to cert of x squared plus secant 2x plus 3. Okay, we are going to solve this question by using power rule here. After you change cert into x squared plus secant 2x plus 3 to the power of half. So please take note that this is 1 over 2 is the power and n is equal to 1 over 2. So we are going to use power rule here. Power rule. Please remember power rule. If given fx y equals to fx to the power of n, then y prime is equals to, you have to bring n in front, then copy paste fx, then the power for n you have to minus 1, then you have to go on to differentiate fx. Okay, so this is how we are going to do now by using power rule. So you have to recognize what is fx. Fx here is equals to x squared plus secant 2x plus 3. n equals to 1 over 2. So f prime x is equals to, I will bring 1 over 2 in front, and I will copy and paste the function fx, that is x squared plus secant 2x plus 3. Then I will close the bracket, and the power for n is half minus 1. You will get negative 1 over 2. Then you have to differentiate the inside, the function inside. What is the function? Without set. So you have to differentiate x squared plus secant 2x plus 3. Okay. So the answer is 1 over 2 multiply with x squared plus secant 2x plus 3 to the power of negative 1 over 2. Then you have multiply with 2x plus differentiate secant. Okay, now I write here first. You need to differentiate secant, or you want to differentiate straightforward. So I write first. So you need to differentiate secant 2x plus 3. Close the bracket. Okay, now continue. F prime x is equals to 1 over 2 multiply with x squared plus secant 2x plus 3 to the power of negative 1 over 2 multiply with 2x plus differentiate secant. The answer is secant tangent. Secant 2x plus 3 multiply with tangent 2x plus 3, and don't forget to differentiate 2x plus 3. The answer is 2. Okay, and close bracket. Okay, then we'll see that 2 you can bring in front here. Okay, so you will get 1 over 2 x squared plus secant 2x plus 3, close the bracket, to the power of negative 1 over 2 multiply with, I bring 2 in front, so the remaining term is x plus secant 2x plus 3 multiply with tangent 2x plus 3. Now we are going to cancel out 2 here. So the final answer is x squared plus secant 2x plus 3 to the power of negative 1 over 2. Then you have to multiply with x plus secant 2x plus 3 multiply with tangent 2x plus 3. Okay, so this is the simplest form for the final answer you should give. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we continue to example 9. Our last example for chapter 3. Given y equals to 3x plus 4 multiply with e to the power of negative 2x, find dy dx. Then find also d squared y dx squared. And after that you have to show that d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus 4y is equals to 0. So at the end you have to, firstly you need to find out what is dy dx. Secondly, you have to find out d squared y dx squared. Then you have to substitute dy dx here, d squared y dy dx here, and you have to substitute y here, and you have to show that on your right side you will get 0. Okay, so we start now. You can find dy dx by using product rule, by let u equals to 3 plus 4x, u prime is equals to 4, v is equals to e to the power of negative 2x, v prime is equals to negative 2e negative 2x. Okay, so now what is y prime or dy dx? Okay, dy dx is equals to u multiplied with v prime. So 3 plus 4x multiplied with negative 2e negative 2x plus v e negative 2x u prime is 4. Then, as usual, you need factorize. You need to factorize the like term here, that is e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, so factorize e to the power of negative 2x. The remaining term is negative 2 multiplied with 3 plus 4x Okay, let's continue example 9. This is our last example for lecture 3. Given y equals to 3 plus 4x multiplied with e to the power of negative 2x, find dy dx, and find also d squared y dx squared, and show that d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus y is equals to 0. So we have 3 things to be find here. So firstly, you need to find dy dx. Secondly, you need to find d squared y dx squared. Then you have to substitute dy dx here plus 4 dy dx. The first one, d squared y dx squared plus 4, you have to substitute dy dx here, and last one you have to substitute y here, and you have to solve to get the final answer is 0 on your right side. Okay, so firstly you need to find dy dx. Differentiate y is equals to dy dx. Okay, the first term is u, and the second term you can let as v. So now, what is u? u v prime plus v u prime. u is 3 plus 4x. v prime is negative 2e negative 2x plus v e negative 2x. u prime is 4. So you have to simplify by factorize. As usual, you need to factorize the like term here. The like term here is negative 2e negative 2x. Factorize negative 2e negative 2x. So I factor out negative 2e negative 2x. The remaining term is, you have 3 plus 4x, and for this one you have negative 2, close the bracket. So simplify to get negative 2e negative 2x multiply with 4x plus 1. Okay, so this is dy dx. Okay, then we continue to find d squared y dx squared. d squared y dx squared is equals to, remember, we just find out what is y. Given y equals to negative 2e negative 2x multiply with 4x plus 1. So our dx is equals to negative 2e negative 2x multiply with 4x plus 1. Okay, this is the simplest term where you can let the first term is u and the second term is v. Then you need to let, if u equals to negative 2e negative 2x, u prime is equals to 4e negative 2x. v is equals to 4x plus 1, so v prime equals to 4. So differentiate y, you will get d squared y dx squared. Okay, So now I'm going to multiply v multiply with u prime. Okay, so we get 4x plus 1, you multiply with u prime, that is 4e negative 2x plus u, I will multiply with v prime, that is negative 2e negative 2x multiply with 4. Okay, so now as usual you need to simplify by factorize. So I will factor out the like term here, that is 4e negative 2x. Okay, this is the like term. So the remaining term is 4x plus 1 minus 2. Okay, so I factorize the like term, that is 4e to the power of 2x. So we continue to get 4x minus 1. Okay, now we just get d squared y dx squared. So I will substitute into the equation d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus 4y equals to 0. So substitute dy dx first. Okay, dy dx is equals to 4e2x multiply with 4x minus 1 plus 4, then you multiply, substitute dy dx. Dy dx is negative 2e negative 2x multiply with 4x plus 1 plus 4y. What is y? You can get y from the original question. The question given to you, that is y is equals to 3 plus 4x multiply with e to the power of negative 2x. And you have to solve. Okay, or you have to expand now. Now I will expand to get 4 times 4, that is 16x e to the power of 2x minus 4e negative 2x minus 32, 4 times negative 2, then you will get minus 32x e negative 2x, then you get minus 8e negative 2x, then you will get plus 12e negative 2x plus 16x e negative 2x. Okay, then now you collect the like term. The like term here is 16x e to the power of 2x minus 32x e negative 2x and 16x e negative 2x. So you will get 32x e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to put negative in front. E to the power of negative 2x. Then you have to minus 32x e to the power of negative 2x. Now I will collect the second term, that is this one, e to the power of negative 2x here. Okay, where you will get negative 4 minus negative 8, you will get negative 12. Negative 12 e to the power of negative 2x. Then you have 12 e to the power of negative 2x. The conclusion, that is d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus 4y equals to 0. We just get 0 just now, so shown. Okay, you have to write the word shown there. Okay, now I would like to share second method, or I call it alternative method. Okay, so what is alternative method? We will use the first result. Okay, if just now if the question is given y equals to 3 plus 4x multiplied with e to the power of negative 2x, we just get dy dx just now. Dy dx is equals to 3 plus 4x multiplied with negative 2e negative 2x plus e to the power of negative 2x multiplied with 4. We're done before. Then I want you to alert that the expression that I highlight here now is actually equals to y. Okay, so dy dx is equals to, we have negative 2 here, so negative 2y plus 4e negative 2x. Okay, so this is dy dx. I call this is the first equation. I call this one is second equation. Okay, we have used the first equation and we just substitute into the dy dx to get y here. This is y. Okay, from the second equation, I will simplify to get 4e negative 2x as in terms of dy dx plus 2y. This is from second equation, from equation 2. Okay, from equation 2 you will get 4e to the power of negative 2x equals to dy dx plus 2y. Then you need to differentiate for the second time. Okay, I will differentiate y now. Differentiate y, you will get d squared y dx squared. Then, okay, if dy dx just now, we just get negative 2y plus 4e negative 2x. So now we differentiate for the second time. We will get d squared y dx squared. Differentiate y, you will get d squared y dx squared equals to negative 2. Differentiate y, you will get dy dx. I will use product rule here. This is u and this is v. Plus copy y, and you have to differentiate negative 2. Differentiate negative 2 is 0. Okay, actually you don't have to write because differentiate negative 2 is 0. Then plus copy paste 4, differentiate e to the power of negative 2x, you will get negative 2e negative 2x. Then copy paste negative e to the power of negative 2x, differentiate 4, the answer is 0, so you don't have to write these two terms. Therefore, you simplify to get negative 2 dy dx minus, I will bring 2 in front. Okay, I will group 4 with e negative 2x here. Why? Because we just get the result just now, that is 4 times e negative 2x is equals to dy dx plus 2y here. So I will substitute 4 times e negative 2y with this one. So you will get negative 2 dy dx minus 2. So you have to eliminate e to the power of negative 2x. Okay, because we want to show at the end the conclusion is d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus 4y equals to 0. So substitute dy dx plus 2y. Okay, then you will get negative 2 dy dx minus 2 dy dx. You will get negative 4 dy dx. Then minus 4y. This is d squared y dx squared. So now finally you bring all the term to the left side to get d squared y dx squared plus 4 dy dx plus 4y equals to 0. Then you can cancel out. Okay, so 32x minus 32x is 0. Negative 12e negative 2x plus 12e negative 2x equals to 0.